Guys, welcome to Mark's Authentic Kitchen this morning. And what I'm going to be doing today, I'm going to be doing some saltfish and dumpling and ground provisions. So here I have my water boiling away. My water is boiling away to put I have my plantain. I'm going to be cooking some plantain. So in some salt water and about a teaspoon of vegetable oil. You have the plantains gone in there. I'm going to also add in my sweet potatoes that was soaking in some lemon water here. And I put the lemon on the potatoes to take the stain off the potatoes, if you're wondering what that is about. So I'm going to be boiling my potatoes and my plantain. And as I do that, I'm going to now work on making some cornmeal dumpling. So I'm going to be making some cornmeal dumpling here. And I have the cornmeal, which will measure a cup. I'm going to be putting a cup of cornmeal here. This cup is big, so it's just a cup of cornmeal I'm using here. That's the corn. And I'm going to be adding some flour, which is about a cup and a half of flour. I already measured it there. And within that, I'm going to be putting some salt. And let me emphasize that because the salt is in the middle, I'm doing it in a spoon here that I have in I'm going to be putting in just a quarter teaspoon of salt. Just a quarter teaspoon of salt there. Add it to my cornmeal and my flour. Give it a mix. Now I'm going to be adding in a tablespoon of low pack butter. Tablespoon of low pack butter. Here I'm going to get a fork. Because I put the butter in and the butter was in the fridge, it's going to be very hard for it to melt like that. So I'm going to give it a little, break it up with a fork. Whole idea I'm going to be making my cornmeal dumplings. So as I say, I have about a cup of cornmeal, and this is the coarse cornmeal. 1.5 cup of flour, plain flour, a tablespoon of butter. You can use whatever butter you want of your choice. I use the pack this morning, or today, whatever time the video you'll be watching the video back. And a quarter teaspoon of salt. So now I have the butter all baked up in the flour on the cornmeal. I'm just going to make a little hole in the center of the mixture here in the bowl. I'm going to put in my water, and my water here, I have just about a half cup of water here. I'm going to be adding at a time, because I don't want it to get too wet. I want to be able to knead it out. So I have my potato and my plantains boiling away as I cook in that pot. Then I'm mixing the flour and the coarse cornmeal, butter and salt and water together, and I'm going to knead it and knead it out. Guys, I've been kneading this for about 5 minutes. So it's all ready now. I'm going to get one of my chopping boards. So I have it kneading here. So that's my dumplings that I'm kneading in the dough here for my dumplings. I'm now going to try and roll my dumplings out to make my dumplings. And as my water is kicking up a storm with boiling here, I need to turn it down for a little bit. It's going a little bit fast here for me. Those are my dumplings. But guys, everybody does things different. I have to keep emphasizing on that. Because sometimes people say, oh my goodness, these things are like, they are so big. Maybe my hands are heavy. But guys, we're making dumpling, we're not making little droplets for soup. So this is what's going to be going on the side to serve as my my dumplings. And as I roll and cut them out in what size that I want them to be, I roll it in my hands, make a round ball of it. While you're watching, you might be thinking I look a little bit dry now. When it's cooked, it's going to be nice and stiff. And I know some people like their dumplings stiff and not too soft. So that is the consistency of it I want to get from it. I want them to be a bit stiff here. So yes, you're listening to some instrumental reggae music at the back there. I hope you like it. And to roll them down, I'm going to be putting my dumplings in the water now because the water is boiling nicely here. So now that I roll them out like a ball, I'm going to be flattening them out. I need to. Sometimes make dumplings so smooth and nice, and these look as if, hey, the best of chef, you know. But I'm glad that you can see that there is no if and but, and in between is what you see here is exactly what you're going to be getting. You see me dipping it and dipping it in a little bit of oil that will hold it together. I don't know. My dumplings going into the pot to boil or to cook. And I'm going to be letting them boil for about a half an hour. And then I'm going to be checking in on them again. And then I'll let you see how I'm getting on while I make the preparation for my green seasoning for my saltfish. So I have in the pot here my potato and my plantain boiling away nicely. That's the pot with the dumplings. And these look a little bit small, so I think what I'm going to do with these, I'm going to make a long one. My grandson will get that one there. You're gonna say, Nana, he will have those too. Voila, that's that. Just gonna give it a turn so they stick together in the pot here. Then I'm going to cover it, and it's going to be cooking the dumplings here nicely. Move this away from here. Remove this one as well. So guys, the dumplings have been cooking themselves over here for the past 10 minutes and a little bit more. So I'm going to cover it and let it continue doing so. In about 10 minutes, I'm going to be closing off taking out my potatoes and my plantain. I don't want it to be overcooked. And here on this chopping board, you have all the green seasoning. You have the peppers, red, yellow, green, white onions. You have my tomatoes, chopped tomatoes, and you have my fresh thyme here. All in preparation for my saltfish. Guys, I'm not kidding. And you have here the saltfish that has been boiled, washed out, boned out, and is all here ready to go as soon as I get ready to start my pot that is on the other side there. Also, I have my okras that I wash and cut here, that is in a little bit of water here. That's going to be the water is just going to be boiled over it. So I'm on my way, guys, I'm on my way. So I'll let you see what's happening as I go along. Alright guys, the potatoes and the plantain has been cooking now. And I think I'm going to take them out because I don't want them to get mashed up in the pot. Let me give them a testing to make sure that they're done. That's the potatoes. That's the plantains here. Yep, I think they're all done. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn the fire off, or turn the burner off here. And I'm going to be putting them into this thick Pyrex. This what I want is for them to retain the heat in them, because I don't want it to get cold. So I'm going to be taking them out here. Take the potato out. I'm going to be putting them into my Pyrex dish here. That's my potato. Nice, because I don't want it to be brickly in here. And I'm going to put in a boiled plantains. Good. Look guys, so that's my plantains and my sweet potato in there. And what I'm going to be doing now, I'm going to be covering it down so it can maintain the hotness in it or the heat in it. And that's going to be rest aside. So what I'm going to be doing now, I'm going to be focusing on the saltfish. Okay? So guys, here is my frying pan with the oil in it already nice and hot. And what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be adding in my greens here. So you have all the peppers and the onions are going to be adding into the oil here. I'm going to be sauteing the onions and the peppers. And my dumplings are still nicely boiling here. They've been boiling for the past 20 minutes. I did say half an hour, but I think I'm going to give them an extra 10 minutes. So another 20 minutes and I'll check on them. See, make sure that they're on their way to cooking. In the meantime, I'm doing sauteing my onions and my peppers. So I have my onions and my peppers sauteing nicely there. Now this time I'm going to be adding in, I have a large tomato, ripe tomato, that I'm going to add into the onions and the peppers here. Give it a stir as well. And as I say, everybody does their things different. I have my thyme, and you might think it's a lot of it, yes, because I want to taste the thyme in it. Have you seen it? Yes, it's my thyme. I'm going to be adding into it as well. And what happens is, as the thyme makes its way or cook through the green seasonings, the green thing is going to come off the stalk, and there is where, after it starts boiling into the saltfish, you can take the stalk out, because it means the flavor is already gone into it. What you're hoping to achieve have already gone into it. Yeah. So while my onions, peppers, tomatoes and thyme is sauteing nicely there, I have my saltfish, boiled and shredded saltfish there. I have black pepper, and this is from the mill, and I also have the fine one, but I think I'm going, because I cannot see what's coming out of this, the consistency of that, I'm going to take a teaspoon and use it from here, the grounded one. So yes, that is very nicely here. Give it another stir. Oh, guys, that looks amazing. I'm hoping that you can see from where you are. Trying to bring it as close as possible so you can see what's happening in there. Right, so this is my black pepper. I need to get a teaspoon. And I also need to get I said to you guys, I don't like using too much of ketchup in my saltfish because it makes it sour. I'm only going to put in maybe about a teaspoon in it. Okay, at this moment in time, I'm going to be adding in my saltfish because I don't want my green seasoning to get saggy. So that's my saltfish added in here. Remember, I said I cannot see. Yeah, there we go. It's looking absolutely lovely. The colors are so popping through this. From time to time, I need to. So at this moment in time, I'm going to add in a teaspoon of black pepper. I'm going to level it off. You might say, my goodness, a teaspoon of black pepper sounds a lot in it. I love black pepper, I must say. You can't do saltfish and don't put black pepper in it. I'm going to cover it for about 5 minutes. Then I'll come back and see where it's at. So yes guys, my saltfish has been cleaned for the past 10 days, and I did say I'm going to come back and see what's happening here with it. My goodness, it looks absolutely amazing. Oh, my saltfish is looking, guys, I need to let you see it. There's no point in me telling you about it and can't show you what it looks like. So here you go. That's the saltfish there, bubbling nicely here. You seeing it? Oh guys, that's look amazing. And come on here, come on. That's the dumplings there boiling away nicely in the pot here. I hope the steam is not preventing you from seeing properly, but that's the dumpling. And in this small little pot here, this small one here, is where I'm going to be putting my okras. So guys, you can see there, see what's happening there. My saltfish is cooking. Dumplings are almost coming to a done here now. And let's go back out here. I'll put you back where I had you. And I'll put in my okras. Just a tiny bit of water. A small tiny bit of water is here in the pot, and I'm going to be adding my okras in. A little bit of water and salt is in that pot here. I'm going to cover it. Tiny bit, I would say about 6 tablespoons of water, if that much. I'm not going to let it stay and cook for any long time. Between 3 to 5 minutes, I'll be taking them out because I don't want it to cook too much in it. I'm going to be adding a little bit of rapeseed oil to the pot with the okras, just a tiny bit of. I'm going to turn the stove down on my saltfish. I'm going to cover it and let it simmer for another 5 minutes, and then it's done. Okay guys, I'll be back. Guys, the saltfish is finished. I just lock it off. So that's my saltfish done. And I'm going to give my dumplings another 10 minutes. And my okras, it's about 3 minutes here. I'm going to shut it off soon because I don't want them to boil soft. I just want the water to boil over it a bit. So it's been instead of 5 minutes, so another couple of minutes, and I'm going to be turning it off. I thank you so much for joining Mag's Authentic Kitchen today, where you have saltfish, dumpling, okras, sweet potato, plantain, and then I'm going to be serving it a little bit of cucumber on the side. So there you have it, my dear. Thank you for watching in my video today, and do like and share and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Maggie's Authentic Kitchen. I hope to see you again, and do have a brilliant day. And before I go, I didn't get a chance to have a drink for Thanksgiving with my family and friends over in America. So what I have here is 3 Mils Dark Fruits. It's a wine, it's like a fruit wine. So I'm going to have a little sip, and this is saying thank you. Thank you. Wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Cheers. And I'm going to have a drink. I'm just peeping my face in. Nice and cold. Lovely. Have a great day. Bye bye.